girl Brooke Loves Books 23 back with another video. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are starting a new series on the channel called Storytime. So if you guys don't know, I am a literary critic and promoter. I review other authors' work, but I am also an author myself. I created a children's book series called Loretta Owl. So every week I am going to be reading one of the books from my Loretta Owl series and talking to you guys about how I came up with the idea and teaching kids the lesson that is within that book. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video. Hi everyone, I am author Brooke Auckerman, and today's story time is going to be Kind Loretta Owl. I came up with this story because sometimes when I went to school when I was younger, people would make me feel bad. I would get bullied a lot, and that would make me not want to go to school. And it got worse as I got older, and there was never a book out there or anyone on YouTube or any social media that I was on at the time that really talked about the topic of bullying. So I felt like it was very important for me to write this story and for me to become an anti-bullying advocate and use my platform to talk about it. So without further ado, we are going to be reading Be Kind Loretta Owl. This is the starting picture. It was an ordinary Monday morning in Sunnyvale as Loretta the Owl was getting ready for school with her mom. Mommy Owl was putting Loretta's notebooks and pencils in her backpack as Loretta got dressed in her favorite school dress. This one was her favorite because it's pink with a unicorn on it. Loretta, honey, let's go. You're going to be late, she hooted as Loretta flew down the steps and held her mommy's wing as they flew together to the schoolhouse downtown Sunnyvale. When they arrived at the schoolhouse, all the children were running around on the playground while they waited for the doors to open. Loretta Owl spotted her friend Tess the Hippo and gave Mommy Owl a hug goodbye. Loretta flew over to Tess the Hippo. "Good morning, Tess. How are you this morning?" she hooted. Tess pointed over to the tree by the monkey bars, and sitting under it was a young toad. "Looks like we have a new kid. Good morning, Loretta. I'm doing well," she grunted. Loretta looked over by the tree. "We should go and see if she wants to play with us." Tess agreed, and they walked over to the tree where the young toad was reading a book. "Hello there. My name is Tess Hippo, and this is my friend Loretta Owl. Would you like to climb on the monkey bars with us?" The toad looked up from her book and smiled. "Hi, my name is Arabella Toad. It's nice to meet you both. I actually want to read more in my book. I don't like monkey bars. They scare me." Tess the Hippo erupted in laughter. Who would want to read a book versus playing on the playground? What a nerd. "Hey everyone, the new kid is lame. She'd rather waste her time in a book than play with any of us, stupid toad." The other children on the playground pointed and laughed at Arabella Toad. The school bell rang, and the principal, Luna Bell the cow, came out and greeted each student. Loretta Owl flew over to the steps, and Miss Luna Bell smiled and welcomed her in for the day. "Have a great day, Loretta," she mooed. Loretta walked into Mrs. Honey's classroom, a queen bee with pink glasses. The late bell rang, and all the children took their seats as Mrs. Honey made an announcement. "Good morning, class. Today we have a new student that just moved here. So let's give Arabella Toad a warm Sunnyvale Elementary welcome and help her get used to the school," she buzzed. Everyone greets Arabella. Mrs. Honey asks for her to take a seat between Loretta Owl and Tess the Hippo. As Mrs. Honey was writing instructions for their new writing assignment on the board, Tess threw spitballs at Arabella. The whole classroom erupted in laughter and begins making fun of Arabella. Mrs. Honey tapped her ruler on her desk, and the class got instantly silent. There will be no more funny business in this classroom. You are to treat our new student with respect. This is a whole class warning. Am I understood? The class nodded in agreement. When Loretta Owl arrived home that night and began working on her homework, she thought about all of her classmates bullying Arabella. She didn't want to be mean to the new girl in school, but she also didn't want to become the new victim of her classmates either. The next day, Loretta walked into her classroom and sat down and worked on her writing assignment. The bell rang and all the students took their seats as Mrs. Honey took attendance. Arabella took her book out and began reading when Tess the Hippo began throwing paper at her, and the whole class joined in chanting, calling her a nerd. Loretta wanted to defend Arabella, but all she could imagine is them beginning to bully her, so she decided to insult her as well. Hey everyone, ribbit, ribbit. I'm Arabella the stupid toad, ribbit, ribbit. Her classmates laugh along with her and join in making the frog sounds as well. Mrs. Honey walks over to Loretta Owl's desk and slams her hand down. Loretta and her classmates jumped and got silent as Mrs. Honey flew around all 4 rows of seats. This behavior will not be tolerated. I warned you all yesterday about making fun of our new student, so each of you will be having a note sent home about all of you bullying our new student. I'm disappointed in all of you, especially you, Loretta Owl. At the end of the day, the bell rang and all the students lined up for dismissal. As each student was released to their parent, Mrs. Honey gave each parent a note asking for the bottom of it to be signed and returned to her the next day. When Mommy Owl came to pick up Loretta, Mrs. Honey requested that her and Loretta step into the classroom for a conversation and gave Mommy Owl the note. Mommy Owl opened the note and looked over at Loretta Owl angrily. Mrs. Honey sat down at her desk and folded her hands. Miss Owl, I'm surprised to have to even have this meeting with you, being that Loretta Owl is usually one of my best students. But today, she decided to join the rest of her classmates in bullying our new student, including making frog sound effects because of her being a toad. You and I both know Sunnyvale Elementary is a zero-tolerance bullying zone. Loretta Owl began to cry and looked at her mom. Yes, Mrs. Honey, I understand. Loretta, what made you do this? Don't you remember when you were new here yourself and how scared you were? That's probably exactly how Arabella was feeling, she hooted. Loretta Owl nodded her head as Mommy Owl continued to talk to her. We treat others the way we want to be treated. You never know what someone is going through. Loretta Owl wiped her tears away and listened to Mommy Owl. Is there anything you'd like to say to Mrs. Honey? Loretta nodded. Yes, I'm sorry for being unkind, Mrs. Honey, and I'll write an apology letter to Arabella to give to her tomorrow. Mrs. Honey and Mommy Owl smiled, and on their way out the classroom, Mrs. Honey flew over to Loretta Owl. Here's a little piece of advice. Be kind, Loretta Owl. Kindness is free, and not a lot of people spread it in the world today. We need more positivity in our world. Be the person who makes others feel good, she buzzed. Loretta and Mommy Owl flew home, and while Mommy Owl cooked dinner, Loretta wrote her apology letter to Arabella Toad. The next morning, Loretta Owl and Mommy left home a little earlier so Loretta could speak to Arabella Toad before class. When they arrived at the schoolyard, Loretta flew over to Arabella Toad. "Hi, Arabella. My name is Loretta Owl." Arabella frowned and looked at the ground. "Yes, I know. You're the one that was making the frog sounds at me yesterday." Mommy Owl gave Loretta a nod of encouragement, and Loretta handed Arabella the note. Arabella opens the note and smiles. "I accept your apology, Loretta Owl. It makes me feel much better knowing that you want to be my friend and apologized of making fun of me." Loretta Owl and Arabella Toad gave each other a huge hug as the bell rings. And the students begin walking into the schoolhouse as Mommy Owl yells, "Have a good day. Be kind, Loretta Owl," she hoots. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed our story time. And remember, you want to be the person that makes someone feel good. Everybody here in the world is different. We have different personalities, different hobbies, and a variety of different things that differentiate us from each other. But those differences is what makes us all special in our own way and makes us unique. Remember, you may not be a fan of somebody, and that's okay because you're not always going to like everybody that you meet. But the important thing is that regardless of if you like them or not, kindness is free. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. But if you can find it in your heart to at least say good morning, or tell someone you like their bow, or if you see someone getting picked on and then they're crying, tell a teacher. Don't be a bystander. Bullying happens so much every day at schools, online, and sometimes even at home. So please make sure that you are, like Loretta, being kind and spreading kindness everywhere that you go. I hope everyone has an amazing day. And if you would like to keep up with me, my TikTok is Brooke Loves Books 23, where I talk more about Loretta Owl and being kind. And you can also like, comment, and subscribe here on my YouTube. I hope everyone has an amazing day. Stay blessed, be kind, and stay safe. And I will see you guys in our next Loretta Owl adventure. I love you all.